Today we have Miosha Polk, owner of Lavish Impression Events, and I would like to introduce you all to her. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes, let's get the guests or viewers comfortable with who you are.
Okay.
So let's talk about that.
Okay. So I'm Miosha Polk. Once again, I'm originally from Charlotte, North Carolina. I started my business, Lavish Impressions Events, in Raleigh, North Carolina in 2015. Our company pretty much handles weddings, milestone events, networking events, empowerment events for all ages and sizes.
Okay.
We specialize definitely in weddings and networking events. That's been a big plus for us in the last 2 years.
Okay. Awesome. Oh my God. So, oh my goodness, this is going to be so great for me to actually be able to start a networking event planner.
Yes.
For me to do some more networking events would be awesome.
Yes.
So let's talk about when did you start your business and what got you into business? Like what inspired you to start wedding planning and others?
Okay. So I've always had a passion for it. I want to say probably since like 5 or 6 years old. Not necessarily the weddings, but definitely the event side. My mom used to always host little small gatherings at the house, and she always was so detailed about a simple gathering, just like a nice fruit tray, the best like ambiance, and it can be nothing but 5 or 10 people at home, but it was just something that stuck with me. And after graduation, I wanted to go back to Johnson & Wales and get my whole hospitality degree and move forward with weddings and stuff, and my mom was like, no. You need to go to a real school. That's what she called
wow,
it.
okay.
And I was just like, okay. So I ventured off to Raleigh, and I actually went to St. Augustine's University, college at the time, and it still was that niche for wanting to do some type of events. So I went into communications as a major. I minored in PR, and so with that, I said, okay, I can take this and intertwine events into this some type of way.
Right.
And I started with small things after Pledge and Delta. I really took charge of actually doing events with our chapter, and so from there I learned to have the passion even more. So once I graduated, I said, you know what, I am going to go get my certification as a wedding planner, and I'm gonna be a wedding planner, and that's just what it's gonna be.
Right.
And got that certification at Wait Tech, which is a community college there in Raleigh, really big, and I got a lot of education.
That's awesome.
But I know the biggest thing was that my professor, I can remember her telling me all the time, is you need some type of shadowing, you need some type of internship, you need something other than this, because this is nothing compared to actually hitting it head on, almost getting thrown to the wolves in a sense. And so after, getting my certification, I did start an internship with Creative Touch out of Raleigh, North Carolina.
Okay.
And I loved it. But of course, being young, trying to live on my own, life got the best of me. And so I had to pull out. It was one of the hardest decisions I had to make, but I knew at that time I couldn't do it, and it was intimidating. A lot of people don't know, if they're not in the wedding industry. The wedding industry is cutthroat. I want to say it's almost worse than modeling. It's modeling, the film industry, just as cutthroat as it is as an audition or anything of that nature. It's the same identical thing, because you have multiple people advertising and offering the same thing, and a lot of people don't know that, hey, just like you need a sitter or you need somebody to do your hair, you need a planner as well.
Right.
And a lot of people don't take or see that, and so I had to step away from it. And work on just paying the bills.
Right.
And so after having my son, through the process of being pregnant, I really got more intertwined into planning my baby showers.
Okay.
And so from there, I was like, you know what? I just need to get back into this whole event thing. This is where my passion is, and I don't want to settle for just something that's comfortable, in a sense. Having a full-time job, a 9 to 5, that's comfortable. But actually getting into this field that I absolutely adore will be a challenge. And if I can handle it, then I know this is something that is meant for me. So after having my son, my first child, I started my business, and I started off with candy bars.
Okay.
And so from there, I enjoyed it, but I was just like, this ain't really what I want to do. This is just like a foot in the door. And from there, if I can portray and do these candy bars, and they can see that I have the creativity and just the professionalism to do a candy bar, then I know that I can go to the next step of different events.
So the candy bar, was it displayed off with candy sitting on a table and different kinds
Well,
of
I actually took their themes. So I took their themes, and I incorporated every little aspect of a theme into the candy bar. And so the first candy bar, that client was over this, pretty much under the sea.
Oh,
it was an under the sea theme. And so I pretty much went from taking the colors of her baby shower, implementing that into the candy bar, along with different candies of the colors of the baby shower. So I just didn't do any type of candies. Like I went and got specific, at the time it was like jellyfish candies that were like blue, and Jolly Ranchers that were pink, to actually portray and kind of cohese with the actual baby shower. And so from there, I did that as a favor for a friend, and I booked my first client.
Wow.
And so from there, I said, okay, I got this. I know I can do this. I need to find somebody to intern with. And at the time, I was working with a really good friend of mine with my full-time job, and she actually worked with an event planner, with a wedding planner. And I was just like, girl, you gotta help me get on with her. I don't want to, she doesn't have to pay me.
Right.
I just need the experience. I need this internship because I already got the education portion down pat. I need this hands-on experience. And I started out reaching out to my mentor, which I interned with, which was Sabrina Seymour, with Sabrina Seymour Events in Durham, North Carolina. I reached out to her, and it had to take like 4 months for her to get back with me. But I just kept pushing it.
That's awesome.
And finally got put on with her in July. And of course, during that time frame, that was 2015 July. That was like the end of the wedding season in a sense. So I only got to work like maybe one wedding, but I was satisfied because I knew that I had did everything I could do in my power to be brought back on for the next wedding season. And so 2016 is where I actually experienced weddings firsthand. And it was, her logic was kind of like throw you to the wolves and figure it out, but she was right there all the way, and she it's not only inspired me but definitely tested me on different things. In this situation, what would you do?
Right.
Or figure it out in a sense. And in the back of my head, I'm like, oh my God, this is like one of the biggest days of somebody's life outside of giving birth, graduation, prom, and then a funeral. A wedding is like the biggest thing. And she entrusted me with that, and it just is stuck with me. And from there, I just got the ball rolling. In the midst of interning with her, I started my business. And she knew all along that I was, handling and wanted to start my business. So she gave me the tools, the traits, told me what classes to go to, what conferences to go to, who to network with, who to meet. And from there, Lavish Impressions was created.
That is amazing. Oh my God, what a story.
Yeah.
Girl. So one thing I do want to tap on to, where you pointed out, is having a mentor is very, very important.
Yes.
I don't think that anybody stressed enough on that, to actually have someone that they can connect with or be able to reach out to when things aren't going well and they need a question.
Right.
What is something that I can do more of, or can I work with you and learn more? Right. I mean, being open to learning in the industry is always awesome. It's great and definitely needed. So whenever you got thrown to the wolves, as you said, how did you actually get through whatever the process was, or whatever you felt was kind of like, wow, how am I going to handle this? What did you do to kind of think through or get yourself out of it?
I honestly took from what I seen all along I observe a lot. And I sat back and I thought, okay, what would she do in a sense? And then I thought to myself, okay, if I was the bride, what would I want you to do as an assistant, as a planner, whatever the case may be? Because in that sense, especially with weddings, a lot of people, if you have a good planner in a sense, it's seamless. You never see what actually happens. But in a planner's eye, everything could go wrong that day.
Right.
You name it. And I seen that firsthand with her. And so when it was that time to actually, when she kind of like passed the torch and said, hey, I have another wedding I have to do, but I need you to handle it. I need you to handle wedding rehearsal. You got it. I'm like, okay. You sure this is like one of your biggest clients? Right. Are you sure? You got it. I'm like, okay. And it was a shocker in a sense, because I would never forget, I was actually with another assistant, and this assistant had been there longer than me. So I'm just like, why did she pick me over him? Like, I'm not understanding this, but it's like, okay, this is your time to shine. You're either going to shine or you're going to sink. Right. And so whatever you need to do, you do it, and you do it right, so she can see that you have it, and then you prove to yourself that you can do it. And I will never forget, that was a rough crowd, like just far as the family and the friends. It was only 2 of us at wedding rehearsal, but I took charge. I said a prayer, and I gathered everybody's attention. And from the moment that I grasped everybody's attention, I had respect. Wow. And they were able to respect me and see, like, okay, well, she know what she's doing. I don't have to worry about nothing. And I was able to handle wedding rehearsal.
That's really one of the main reasons why I felt so bad about the moment that I said no to you being my wedding coordinator, planner. Okay. Oh my God. It is so important that, someone professional, like you show every bit of professionalism when you come from the beginning to the end. And I appreciate that about you. And I really do believe that if there is a bride out there who really wants to know more about what wedding planners can do for you, I think that tuning into Sheena and Company's meetups, or either just reach out to Miosha in particular as a planner to get you more details on what she offers would be so awesome. So like, if you can advise the brides on what the importance is to have a wedding planner, give them a briefing on what that will be like with you.
Well, I can't stress enough, when we do consultations, which we do free consultations with our brides, we stress, we may not be the perfect fit. You may want to go with another planner. But we can't stress enough on how you definitely should have a planner. Right. In a sense. And a professional planner. Right. Not your aunt, not your sister, not your best friend that's like a bridesmaid / planner. But you want an actual professional planner who knows what they're doing, who has a team, and who knows how to conduct themselves accordingly when it comes time for the day of your special day. We have run into many brides, and I mean, it's it's a terrible feeling, because we hate what happened with you, and I just was like, God, I just wish she would have went with us, like. And I know some clients, they just say they can't afford it, and they don't know how do you afford something like that. But when you plan your wedding, it's imperative that you put that in there. And I'm not saying that it has to be a $2,000 planner, $5,000 planner, but definitely find somebody within your budget that knows what they're doing. Right. Because it makes your day even more special than what it can be. I
and a lot smoother.
Definitely. Yeah. Because any headache, any problems with a professional planner, that's their job to take that on, make sure they handle it, and not bring it to you. And you may not know until like months to come. Oh, girl, did you know that your flowers never came? Like, so we had to go pick you up. Like, you would never know that. But when you invest And that's the best way to describe it. It's almost like investing in yourself, knowing that you're investing into your wedding, knowing that you're going to have a smooth transaction. You know that your guests are going to be pleased, you're going to be pleased, and you have nothing to worry about.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So when it comes down to, because I know that you have a mentor, you were mentored, and do you do that for other aspiring planners or event planners? Do you do that type of work?
Well, we are starting next year, 2019. We are looking into having 2 internships, and so it will not be paid, but what we pretty much do is a trial run, and so we allow you to internship with us for a year. If it's something that you're still interested in by the end of the year and we feel like you are a good fit for our company, we do bring you on as part-time. So that is something that we're implementing for 2019.
Awesome.
Just because our inquiries are increasing, we are getting more weddings, and we're trying to get to the point where we're doing 2 weddings in one Saturday, or at least 3 weddings in a weekend. And you do need that manpower, and unfortunately I can't be everywhere
right.
at one time, but to have that team and that support, we definitely want to bring in 2 interns to give them that knowledge to carry on, and that's whether they just want to do it for fun or they see themselves as actually being a planner, and they want that experience.
Awesome. So all of this was so great, girl. Oh my
Yes,
God,
thank
I
you
enjoyed
for having me.
So let's not leave the guests without anything extra. Give them some tips, not tips, but just give them ways that they can get in contact with you.
Yes.
Social media, emails, websites, whatever you have.
Okay. So you can definitely contact us at lavishimpressionsevents.com. We have social media, which is our Instagram at lavish_impressions. And then we have Lavish Impressions Events LLC on Facebook. You can contact us at 980-230-1452.
Awesome. Well, thank you for tuning in. It's Sheena and Company. See you next time.